So, Secret of the Mimic VR just released, and it's not looking too well, to say the least. So when this game released about a year ago, it was really cool. The visuals were good, the storyline was good, and it introduced a whole lot of new mechanics to the game. And when people heard about a VR version, they were extremely excited. Everyone was ready for another FNAF VR game, and they couldn't wait for... So this game came out about 2 days ago, and I was really excited when I got this notification for one of my favorite content creators. But the first big problem I heard was that it only came out on PSVR, which no one owns. But when I started watching it, I noticed that there was a lot of glitches and just the buttons that didn't make sense. It was very weird, but I like to give second chances. The content creator I usually watch doesn't make VR content. He usually makes other type of content. So I was like, maybe he just has to learn how to use VR. I'll give it a moment and see if he learns. But then I kept noticing more and more problems, like the subtitles. They would just either stack on top of each other, or they would just get stuck on one line entirely and would literally miss 18 lines. So I was like, alright, maybe it's just a glitch. They probably will fix that soon. But then I started noticing something weird about... So in the normal Secret of the Mimic, it has a bunch of mechanics, like the generators, the data divers, the cranks, but just a bunch of new mechanics. So in this game, you expect all of those mechanics to work the same as they do in this game, right? Well, they don't. The first major problem is the data diver. It keeps either getting stuck in the walls or completely glitching out of bounds. The second problem is the generators. In the normal game, you can go at whatever speed you want. If you're ever in a chase scene, you can always go faster. Well, you can't in this game. For some weird reason, whenever you try to go really fast with the generators, it just doesn't work. You have to go slow, which makes it really hard in the Dolly or Jackie cutscenes because you need to go fast. And then there's the crank problem. Now, cranks are a big part of this game because you need to use them to open doors or claim presents and stuff. But for some reason, whenever you try to use a crank in this game, it either won't crank or your hand will just get let go of the crank. Oh, and then there's the problem with the spring lock suit. Whenever you try to go in it, it just puts your camera angle off to the side. It doesn't even show the center of what you usually see. There's a lot of things wrong with this game for some reason, and there's just so many. Now, I'm not going to sit here and discuss every little problem because they would be here for 2 hours. So I'm just going to discuss the main ones. Now, probably the biggest little problem is the static to whenever you go through the walls. In most VR games, you're going to have some people who want to look and see if there's any secrets, or if there's any unfinished rooms, because that's cool to see. But this game just completely ruins that fun by adding this stupid TV static that you see every time you even accidentally put your head through a wall. And it's not even just walls. It's any other, object. Even if you accidentally, touch it or freaking stick your hand through it, it literally just causes this stupid TV static, which makes it impossible to see. And it happens in chase scenes too. So if you're ever getting chased, hope you don't stick your hand or, your head accidentally through a box, because then you'll die. Now, I understand the devs putting this in, because it makes sense in some rooms, like the elevator room. I understand putting that in because there's probably not going to be anything beyond that walls, but every little thing you're going to put it in there, geez, give us some room to breathe. And there's also the cutscene issues. The Mimic, literally, they just copied the cutscene in because he doesn't even look at you in half of the cutscenes if you're not in the right spot, which just kind of gets you out of the moment of being scared. And the final thing I'm gonna talk about on here is the player movement. I just feel we're so fast, it kind of just ruins the scary vibes of the cutscene. The Dolly scene or the Jackie scene. In the Dolly scene, we take her out so easily, it's not even scary. Or any of the scenes where the Mimic is in his costume, we can run to the lockers so easily, it's not even scary. Just we're too fast. I really hope they can fix, some of these issues, and thanks for watching. Yo, you made it to the end. Yo, congrats. If you can click that button up or down there, I don't know where she's gonna be, yeah, make it turn on not red or whatever. I'd appreciate it.